Welcome back, audience. This is Kronos from Texas Smash. Round 2 is gonna move fast. The dust will settle on the final 16 fighters by the end of this video. Will your favorite character make it through this? Let's nerd out together. Today we're going to jump straight into it. Turtle Quirk is here a week early. After covering round 2, we will welcome Locan and TURTLE QUIRK to the channel to discuss and complete round 3. That's 48 matches that will be covered in this video. Embrace the madness by witnessing the entire 100-man tournament. Check out parts 1 and 2 of the series below. Links in the description. Revelry in the dark. Remember, each round we show the unanimous fights first, then the fight split 4 votes to 1, and conclude with the most tightly contested matches. Spoiler warning, any character in the My Hero Academia universe could be brought up and discussed. No one is off limits for the tournament. Like and subscribe. I thought about this match longer than any other in round 2. This fight would be close. We already covered how good Vantablack was in the last video. It's obvious that Rocklock has a significant amount more experience than Vantablack has. I think the deciding factor that made me vote Vantablack in this one is how little we have seen from Rocklock. Despite Rocklock being in situations to really shine more than once, I might add, he is yet to really have a big moment. Meatball comes into this fight with the perfect quirk to pull off the upset. However, with the intellect we have seen displayed from the woman Nomu, combined with her liquidification quirk, I don't think Meatball would come out on top against this particular Nomu. Tiger is a much different opponent than the one Setsuna had last week in Kurogiri. Tiger is going to want to get up close and personal with Setsuna and has much harder hitting power compared to Kurogiri. That said, getting up close and hitting Setsuna is hard to do. Setsuna would surely evade Tiger to begin the fight. However, Tiger's quirk, Pillow Body, would make him very difficult for Setsuna to hit. I think if this fight were to actually go down, it would probably last for hours. This one is close, and Setsuna takes it 3 votes to 2. You could say we had Cinderella fever, and I wouldn't argue. At some point, Knuckle Duster is going to be up against someone with so much talent that the fact that he's quirkless is going to bite him. Enter Nejire. This girl can fly, she has powerful attacks, and after Lemillion, who was excluded from the tournament for being too powerful, Nejire is the top student representative of UA. My vote went to Knuckle Duster on this one only because I felt like Knuckle Duster could taunt Nejire into coming in close enough for Knuckle Duster to make his move. Every villain we've seen Nejire fight has been huge, which plays right into her hands. Her quirk, while powerful, is slow moving, and the attack waves moving in a spiral is her only option due to the nature of her quirk. Knuckle Duster has a way with words and getting what he wants. While he may not have his quirk anymore, his body did pick up on some things from the experiences he had while he was still the pro hero O'Clock, but it takes 3 votes to advance in My Hero Madness. Nejire wins in a close call for this one. This concludes round 2. Let's look at an updated bracket and dive right into round 3. Alright guys, so round 3 is a little unique. This is the last round where we will take all 5 votes into account, but to make things interesting, let's go over the matches in round 3 that were split 3 votes to 2 and see if we can sway each other's votes. First fight is Ryuku versus Nomu USJ. You both voted for Nomu, Pippo, Tyler, and I voted for Ryuku.
For me, at the end of the day, I thought Nomu USJ was built to, contend with All Might. Not only contend, but actually beat him. And the only way that All Might got him out was literally punching him into space. So I feel like
Yeah.
on an all-out battle, like at the end of the day, he's gonna beat Ryuku.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, USJ Nomu is All Might level strength. Like, it's just a fact. So I don't think Ryuku is quite at that level. I mean, I know she's ranked in the top 10, so she's obviously very powerful. But when I look at her, I'm like, okay, you're a dragon. That's really cool. Can't breathe fire though, whatever. But I feel like the USJ Nomu has super generation. So in a battle of let's just say they were evenly matched, just hypothetically. the USJ Nomu is going to outlast her every single time. Like, unless she can somehow go plus ultra and overcome that hyper generation, which I don't think she can, then yeah, the USJ Nomu wins every time.
On top of him having that shock absorption as well. So even if she is pummeling him in her dragon form, he's going to either regenerate or just absorb it all.
Yeah.
I thought about Nomu USJ was built to take on All Might. I thought about that for a while. But actually, it's because of that reason I voted for Ryuku, because I thought Ryuku has different attack styles. You know, she's going to scratch them all over. And the way, Locan, you had a good point, but Ryuku can fly. So I just figure, you know, if the objective is to get Nomu USJ out of the ozone layer, Ryuku could kind of do the same thing, fly up into the air and fling him up.
But she'd have to contain him to do that, you know, like she'd have to grab onto him or something, and he can fight. Like, he can break out of that because his strength is on par with All Might, nearly. I made the joke about how she couldn't, you know, breathe fire or something, but it's true. Like, if she had a long range ability, then maybe she would have a chance here. But the fact is, the only way she can beat him is by getting up close and personal. And every time she does that, you know, his strength is going to overpower her. And if it doesn't, well, he has shock absorption, all that other stuff. I just don't see it. Like, it's not even fair. It's not even fair because this guy has multiple quirks.
Man, I hate to start off by changing my pick, but I might spice things up and just get a different result here. Shake it up.
Do it, man.
I'll say I'm convinced. But I'm not going to do it anymore. Okay. All right. So Nomu USJ with the steal. Cool. Wash Kirishima. I went Kirishima. Locan went Wash. Pippo went Wash. Tyler went Kirishima. Turtle went Kirishima.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Locan, you going to sell us on Wash or?
I mean, just for the simple fact that he's a pro hero.
I don't know. This was a tough one because, like you say, Wash is a pro hero. They probably have a lot of experience, and obviously Kirishima's just the first year. The way that Kirishima can like withstand, I reckon if Wash tried to attack him with a blast of water, Kirishima of all people is probably going to withstand that if he's in Unbreakable at least.
I feel like Wash would figure out a way to be able to overpower with their own quirk versus Kirishima just by putting him in a bubble and sending him way up or something like that. I don't know how it would play out exactly. I think it would be an awesome battle. I want to hear why y'all exactly did pick Kirishima over Wash.
The bubble thing is cool, but that's just, I mean, I don't really know if I count that as like winning a fight. You know, if you put someone in a bubble and send them to space or whatever. Yeah, I feel like that final blow that's needed to finish someone off, Kirishima can do that. We know he can do that. Whereas Wash, obviously they're a pro hero, so you got to assume they can, but I'm not convinced. And to be honest, their quirk isn't even that great from what we've seen. It is useful to an extent, but in a 1v1 fight, I feel like Kirishima might just take this.
We haven't seen an attack from Wash. You could be a top 10 hero because of your support skills and your popularity. So
Exactly.
And even if he did have an attack, it's not just hardness, it's sharpness with Kirishima. So sharpness beats bubbles, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can pop the bubbles. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I guess what I'm wondering is do y'all think where Kirishima is at now, does he have the experience to outbeat and outmaneuver a pro hero?
Oh, wait, I had a funny thought actually. Imagine for a second, you know how Kirishima was like trapped in the room with Rapper, right? Imagine it wasn't Rapper. Imagine it was a scary, evil version of Wash that Kirishima was up against. Do you think he would win that fight? I feel like he would have had a better chance with that than he would have had with Rapper, right?
Oh, man.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Okay. In that scenario, looking at it that way, absolutely.
Dude, Kirishima took down Giganto, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, yeah, I'm going to switch mine as well. I'm going to switch it to Kirishima.
Well, that just means Kiri wins 4-1 now.
Nice.
Which is cool. Locan trying to hate on my favorite character. All right, cool. Moving on. This is a fun one. Mount Lady versus Inasa. So the votes fall: Kronos Mount Lady, Locan Mount Lady, Pippo Inasa, Tyler Mount Lady, Turtle Inasa.
Well, I want to hear why you guys say Mount Lady first, and then I'll give you my reason for Inasa.
My take's quick. I think Mount Lady's a little underrated. So I think she can stand where other people might think she might fall. And also, she's a giant, man. So I was thinking about this. How strong how strong are Inasa's winds? Because it would take a lot to take Mount Lady down. It's close, but I leaned Mount Lady.
Yeah.
What you got, Locan? Anything else?
Well, to me, Mount Lady, it's in her name. She's a mountain. Not only the fact of her quirk and her strength, but the fact that she's got more experience than him. I think she would be able to outmaneuver him and overpower him.
You know, with his wins alone, he probably wouldn't be able to just, you know, knock her down with the wind like you guys were saying. But I thought he could he could finish her off. When Inaso was trying to apply to UA and he was going up against Todoroki in that little race, he was propelling himself with the winds the whole way, and he was going so fast. And I was thinking to myself, like, if he did that same move that he did during the entrance exam, and he just went straight for her face, I think he could knock her out. On one level, I feel like he could evade her attacks regardless of whether he won the fight or not. He could still evade her. And then on another level, I feel like if he was smart, he could do that thing he did in the entrance exam and just go straight for her head. Even though it was hard, I feel like he would have the advantage.
And I got recency bias. How she didn't lose consciousness when she hung on to Giganto's ankle and she was getting hit in the face with all this dirt and debris while she was getting drugged. I don't know if it's a good comparable though, because you're talking about a quick, swift hit to the face, whereas this was more of a dragging.
Yeah, they are a bit different. But yeah, she is durable. Obviously, like that is a good example. But so yeah, I feel like Inaso, we know he can fly. So you know, if she tries to swipe at him like a giant, like a titan or something, like he can just, you know, use the winds to move himself out of the way. He is possibly, you know, one of the best students in the series, you know, up there with Todoroki, because he beat Todoroki in the entrance exam. So yeah, I feel like he shouldn't be underrated.
But I just feel like if they were in a fight, even with the wins, he's coming up. All she'd have to do is swat him. Like, yeah, he's super fast, but I'm sure she could, or at least hope that she would be able to move fast enough just to be like, boop, little fly, like down, and just smack the crap out of him. But I don't know. I'm sticking with Mount Lady though.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Mount Lady on this one.
Damn. Okay,
I'll let you talk me out of Ryukyu.
only got one.
But no, that's valid. It's a tough call. It really is a tough call. You brought up a good point about a swift hit instead of using his winds, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking with Mount Lady, but that was a good point. Cool. Okay, so Mount Lady holds on to her spot. Getten versus Gang Orca. So
This one's crazy.
That is a good matchup. Myself, Tyler, Turtle voted Getten. Brandon, you and Pippo voted for Gang Orca.
All right, so even on land, Gang Orca is not as strong as he is in water, but he's still very strong. And for me, just his accuracy with his sonic wave could totally blast whatever ice, or like, even if it was a full block, not even like little pieces, but just like a full block of ice, just shatter it with his sonic wave and get to Getten and be able to, you know, kick the crap out of him. Even if Getten's on an ice thing floating around and he's super quick. When he was fighting Shoto, it was so quick he didn't even notice that Gang Orca was like boom right behind him. So I feel like just on pure speed and strength, he would be able to outmaneuver Getten.
Yeah, you make a good point. Like Gang Orca, he does have speed on his side, and those sonic, what do you call them? Like sonic waves, I guess you could say. Those, I reckon, when I was thinking about this myself, I thought those could probably break the ice. But Getten, you know, when we look at his character, I mean, I'm pretty sure he said that he's been training his quirk like literally ever since he was born. Like he didn't even go to school; he was training his quirk every single day. So this guy is like so proficient with his power. I feel like you could think of something to take care of Gang Orca. I don't know if it's like an underhanded tactic where he like does something evil, like I don't know, gets a sneaky spike of water to stab through the guy. Like I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways you can use a quirk like this. He can make a giant cube of ice that Gang Orca simply can't avoid, and then just drop it down on him. Like there's so many options with this quirk.
There's no out of bounds here either, so Getten, I think, could maneuver himself into a position where he had more water available to him or ice to use.
But still, I'm still gonna go for Getten just because of the feats of power we've seen from him. Like this guy is insane. Like remember in the during the war arc, even the massive waves of ice that he can generate and manipulate. It's just so wide ranging. Like in a 1v1 fight, something like that is probably gonna take someone out.
In a word, range. That's what it comes down to. Because Gang Orca does have the quirk for this. It's just not the AoE.
Yeah.
I'm torn between the both of them because I mean we have seen Getten and the damage that he can do, and just the massive amount of ice he can control.
Well, we'll just stick with what our picks here because I don't think you're budging me and Turtle on this one.
Okay,
So,
well, I was wanting y'all to budge me, and I'm like, nah, I'm
yeah,
gonna
but
stay
even
with
if you
Gang
do
Orca.
budge, even if you do budge, Getting still wins. So
Yeah.
all right, cool. Well, let's get through the last two of round 3. Fat Gum, Nezere, Kronos, Fat Gum, Locan, Fat Gum, Pippo, Fat Gum, Tyler, Nezere, Turtle, Nezere.
Damn, only two for Nedgerate. Nah, this is crazy. Don't get me wrong, Fat Gum, he's fantastic. He's a pro, but like Fat Gum has two main ways of defeating people. Number one is that he absorbs them into his fat, and number two is that he, takes all these punches and then converts that into one final shot. And obviously, if that final shot misses, then he's screwed. Like he even admitted it himself. So those are the two ways he can take out people. Now, because we know Nedre can fly, I'm pretty sure she knows not to get close enough to Fat Gum that he could even, grab her and put him in his fat. So I don't think that's an option. I don't think he's gonna absorb her. So the only real way I see Fat Gun winning is if he uses the other option, which is, that final one punch attack that destroys basically anything. So she has a really good control over the amount of energy she needs at a given time. So I feel like with that on her side, that level of control, she probably knows how to avoid that final attack that Fat Gun would have to use to destroy her or to beat her. So I feel like again, it's similar to the last battle. Like range is on her side. Fat Gum can only beat her from close up. So what if she just decides to stay far away from him? Like, fly in the sky and just shoot him from above.
So when I'm voting in my head, I feel like both characters, for whatever reason, are going for the other's throat. So I feel like Nezere would want to come in eventually. She might stay away from him strategically, but I feel like Fat Gum would know she's going to come eventually to try to finish me off. And he would wait for the right moment.
And we've never really seen her approach someone from a close range, Like when she was attacking those two gigantic villains in season 4, or when she was attacking the one of Overhaul's minions, I forget what his name was, but you know the guy.
Yeah.
She's always
Power
done it
drain.
she's always done it from a safe distance. She's always been in the sky, basically. And even against Shigaraki, she was floating in the air. So I don't think she would come to Fat Gum's level. I don't think she would give him the chance.
But see, all these villains you mentioned, they're big. I mean, not saying Fat Gum's a little guy, but I feel like the accuracy would be more of a concern to her, and that's what would lure her in.
Well, the Overhaul minion guy, he was big, but he wasn't like a giant or anything. Like he was still a human.
A lot bigger than Fat Gum, though.
Yeah, maybe like double the size of Fat Gum, perhaps. But
I think
I'm gonna wait, Locan, before you go, real quick. I'm gonna stick with Fat Gum. So it's all up to you, Locan.
Okay, so their quirks are almost like right on the opposite of each other. She uses blast, but once he's hit with those, soak it up and absorb it, transfer that into the power with his ultimate move. It does come down to endurance, like who's going to outlast who. And though Nezere, there is, she trained a very long time to be able to even last for a good while. I still think at the end of the day, Fat Gum would have just the amount of sheer, energy or stamina himself to be able to outlast her. I think that's what it comes down to. And so I am torn. Eventually, he would just be able to outmaneuver her and then use that ultimate move and just take her out.
Okay.
Sticking with Fat Gum, Locan?
Yes. Yeah. Nah, sticking with Fat Gum for sure.
Last one of round 3, but this is a doozy. So Muscular versus the woman Nomu. Locan and I actually went muscular. Pippo,
Okay.
Tyler, and you voted Nomu woman.
Yeah, so I can be swayed on this. I'll say it up front. This one was this one was
Tough.
probably it was just really hard.
What I envision, and the reason I voted muscular, is that scene when Deku gets it. I mean, I know Deku does it on purpose, but he gets his arm stuck in Muscular's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Muscular could wrap his ligaments around the woman Nomu's daggers. What would you call those? Protrusions that she shoots out of herself? I feel like he could snap those in half with his quirk. He just has the right quirk and the aggression to go in and just.
It always comes back to the hyper regeneration, right? Like it's just such an overpowered ability that when you're up against a regular human being, just one person, they're gonna have to be relentless in their attack. I mean, obviously, Muscular is quite relentless. We know that, but they're gonna have to be something special if they're gonna override the super generation of a high-end Nomu. Muscular, as powerful as he is, he has one thing. When you're up against someone with multiple quirks, it gets very tricky. We saw out of all the Nomus, I think she thought the most. Like we saw her thinking and strategizing against Aizawa and how to avoid his erasure quirk. So she is smart, and I feel like Muscular is just an all-out brawler who just he didn't really have much strategy. He was just like, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to. He didn't think. He's just a brawler. So I feel like the woman would be able to strategize.
Real quick on the intelligence part, though, she's a near high-end Nomu, so she's not as intelligent as Hood, right?
No, I think maybe, but the near high-end Nomus were released by Dr. Garaki on the battlefield, like when Gran Torino was, the part I'm talking about.
Oh yes, okay.
Those were the near high ends. I thought that woman was the same as Hood. They did have less time to stabilize.
Yes, that's the confusion. She's a high end that didn't hit 100%.
Yeah, but yeah, even with that though, even with not having the 7 hours or whatever time she needed to get up to speed, she was still. I think she was even smarter than Hood, because Hood was, even though Hood was meant to be intelligent, he was quite smart for a Nomu, but he was more driven by the impulse to find the strongest person and beat them up, whoever they were. Whereas the woman, she was, like I said, she was strategizing like, oh, my quirks aren't working. It must be this person over here, Aizawa. Okay, so I need to hide behind this thing so I can then activate my quirks and attack them from here. So she strategizes. She's clever. So no, I'm gonna stay with woman. Yeah, I've talked myself into it because I wasn't sure going in, but now I am sure. It is woman.
I was trying to talk you out of it. Cool. So sticking with Nomu woman. Locan, you got anything to? It sounds like he's convinced. I don't think you're going to budge him.
His quirk is on par. His strength is on par with One for All. So again, if I just think back, if he's that strong and All Might, to me, if they just like how All Might, defeated the Nomo USJ, pretty much I feel like Muscular could do that exact same thing with the Nomo woman. Just punch her so hard that she literally just flies out into space. Like, boom, there, we're done. So, I mean, I do understand her quirks are crazy and those are awesome, but for me, just out of sheer strength, I think that's how he would win. So
we all have a different take on that. That's an interesting fight for sure. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Nomu woman's sticking, it looks like, right, Turtle?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's dive into round 4. So the only thing that really changed from round 3 from all of that was right out of the gate. Ryuku was going to win, but now Nomu USJ advances instead.
Cool.
Okay.
First region of round 4 would be Rappa versus Re-Destro.
I can't remember who I went for.
Well, this was onto a new round now. You voted for both Rappa and Re-Destro in the previous round. We haven't voted here at all.
Okay, I'm gonna go for.
Round 3 is in the books. Setsuna's Cinderella story strikes midnight. Ryuku's victory slips through her fingers, and the woman Nomu clings to victory. 48 eliminations later, and here we are, the Smashing 16. The next video will conclude this Texas Smash Tournament arc. Comment your vote now for who will win before the finale of this insane tournament. The gold medal is awarded next time on My Hero Madness.